So be it, Jedi.
What's going on, guys? Back giving another video, another episode of Read It or Skip It. Today's book in particular is Splinter of the Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster. The OG first expanded universe book. Published in 1978, the year after Star Wars. This is essentially George Lucas's contingency plan. He didn't know at first if he could make subsequent films, so he just gave the green light on this author and said, go ahead and tell a story that involves these characters. Here are your constraints. Here's what I have established lore-wise. Go for it. I've had this book since last Christmas. I was kind of put off by it in terms of it's an odd book. If you think about it, you know, it is its own entity. You could look at this like something inspired by Star Wars, but separate from it. It's dated 1978. It's over 40 years old now. But overall, this is a good book. This is a very well-written story, and Alan Dean Foster is a very established author. I mean, obviously he's an older author, so none of his modern works are anything that we would know, but he isn't just some scrub. This book involves Luke and Leia, and they are traveling for a diplomatic mission to this planet. Their ship crashes and they are stranded on Mimban. I think Mimban's been brought up in later lore and other Star Wars media, but I'm not sure. Obviously, this probably was its first appearance. So, whilst trying to travel through this planet, which is a super luscious, foggy, rainforesty marsh planet, they run into this woman named Hala, I think. Hala. And she tells Luke of the Kyber crystal. Now it's Kyber, not Kyber. Now this is before George Lucas had the idea that Kyber crystals powered lightsabers. So it's an entire thing. Pretty much my advice for you would be to look at this book from a different angle. Don't look at this book as you would any other modern-esque Star Wars book. Look at it as a book inspired by Star Wars, but as I said, separate from everything we know. So pretty much the Empire is after this Kyber crystal because the Kyber crystal enhances force powers. So they're constantly running back and forth from Imperials. Vader is after him. And we have this crazy finale where, I hate to mention it now, but spoilers, Vader is assumed to be killed. Luke kills Vader. Now this is before Luke and Leia were brother and sister, so there is a lot of romantic scenes in this book. And like I said, you've got to just kind of look at it from a different point of view. Luke kills Vader or cuts off his arm, and he falls down this shaft and he's assumed dead. That's pretty much the end of the book. But as I said, the story from A to B is a really good story. It's very well written. And I've read books where I get bored with them. And I'm just like, wow, this is really not well written. It's boring. It feels like I'm being talked to like a toddler or a child. And this story is being like a bedtime story. As I said, this book is really good. I mean, you could probably take all the names that are associated with Star Wars out and swap them with something else, and it would still be a very good story. And I guess that's kind of what you could do to make it make sense, because this, as I said, this doesn't follow anything that we already know or that is established now, because it was just a story about Star Wars before George Lucas wrote the sequels to A New Hope. Yeah, overall, great book. 10 out of 10. Recommend. If you haven't heard of it, check it out, because it is definitely odd. Let's just say that. It's good, but it's odd, and it's something I feel like if you're an avid reader, avid Star Wars reader, definitely should read, because it's it's different. Anyway, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, check out more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.